You know, I spend a lot of my time looking for this stuff. I saw this and I thought, wow, what a great take on Bohemian Rhapsody, right? They did a really good job with it. And when I saw this, what happened is it flashed me back to when I was a child. And I was learning about the Nativity and Jesus and things like that. And I thought, how come he got special treatment? Why wasn't I like a favored one? How come I'm not gifted? Why doesn't God treasure me? How come Jesus gets all of this stuff? 2,000 years, people are still celebrating. Aren't I a miracle? You know, when we're little, we know truth until we're told otherwise. And yes, we are the miracle. And so I want to talk about today, where do we get those ideas from? We get them from mythology, right? We get them from fairy tales. Let's see. We have the Greek mythology where they're gods, right? They have all these special powers. Some of them were born of virgins as well, right? We have some of the Roman emperors who tried to elevate their status by creating stories that they were also born of virgins. Where else could we get that information from? How about the New Testament, right? There's stories in there about Jesus, about the nativity scene. Well, here's the thing. It's not in all of the Gospels. The Gospel of Mark, which is the first Gospel that has been written, about 30 years after Jesus' death, has nothing about Jesus' birth. The Gospel of John is really about the mysticism of God being embodied on earth. So it has nothing, again, about Jesus' birth. It talks about the Word becoming flesh. So really, it's only 2 books in the New Testament that talk about Jesus' birth. And they differ. You'll notice what I've done here is I found this and I adapted a little bit that looks at the differences between Matthew and Luke, because those are where the nativity scenes are depicted. And when you listen to the Bohemian Rhapsody, you may have heard about, you know, running from Herod, right? The wise men coming. And it's not consistent in those 2 books. They're different. The reason that they're different is because of the writer's perspective and theology. The writer's perspective and theology. So when you look at Matthew, Matthew is about the lineage, proving the lineage of Jesus, that he came from the line of David. Why is that important? It's important because it then mirrors prophecy that was written in the Old Testament. So that's why the writer of Matthew spends a lot of time talking about Jesus' lineage. You'll also notice that in Matthew, it's kind of like the overcoming things. So Herod is in there, you know? So they have to overcome. It's a hero story, isn't it? Having to overcome the obstacle. Herod trying to kill the babies. Their flight to Egypt. You'll notice also that the emphasis is very patriarchal. When you look at Luke, the writer of Luke, they're more about the Holy Spirit. They look at Mary an awful lot, and the actual birthing, and the no room at the inn. That all comes from Luke. It's more about wisdom and glory and celebration and praise. But whenever we talk about the nativity scene, whenever I used to go to church, those 2 Gospels would come together and be merged into one story. But it doesn't exist. We create that. We've tried to put the lines together so that it forms some kind of story. But that's not the truth. So what does that mean? Does it mean that we shouldn't celebrate Christmas? What's the point? No, I disagree. I'm going to go to a quote, Graham. And I love this quote. It says, I think that the true meaning of Christmas is about the possibility in the midst of the impossible. It's not the kind of possibility that comes from a confidence in our own skill, knowledge, ability, or positive mental attitude. It is possibility that comes solely from the fact that God is God, and that it is the kind of God that comes into our own human existence to reveal itself and call us to our divine nature. To me, that's what Christmas is all about. And I say, yes, we celebrate Christmas. Yes, we celebrate Jesus' birth. Because he ushered in a new level of consciousness. A new way of realizing the truth of what we are. That we are divine. That there is no outside God that's trying to kill us. That we have to fear. That we have to do sacrifices for. That God is within each and every one of us. And my friends, that is something to celebrate. If no other time of the year, this is something to celebrate. And if the writers of the New Testament, of Matthew, of Luke, could write their own theology, I'm sorry, I think we can do the same ourselves. The gospel, according to Rev Sherrie. Right? The gospel according to Sharon. The gospel according to Frank. Where we write our own beliefs about our theology. What do we know? What do we believe? What is God? What is the divine nature? What is our purpose here on earth? The power is all ours to create whatever we want. And we can document our own miracles because for me standing here, I'm a miracle. I could have a whole section like on Job and overcoming, all the things. Why me, God, why? I could have that, and then I could have like miracles and doors opening for me in like the next chapter. We are miracles. Miracles are our own birthright. Sometimes I think we just forget to look and see them and acknowledge them. We are so blessed, my friends. Amazingly blessed. So what do we do? How do we do this on Christmas Day? Because we're all going to go home with our families and our friends. And there'll be some traditions. And there'll be some predictable behavior that we may think, why do I do this every year? I don't understand. I'm suggesting to you that you see that moment that you're in, this moment that you're in, as one that is filled with divine possibilities. Divine possibilities. And that means that when you look at your family member, you see the divine. When you look at your friend that is drinking too much and now the edit filter is gone, I see the divine. I see God within you. But the most important piece this Christmas season is, and this Christmas day, is that you see yourself as the treasure. That you see yourself as the chosen one. That you see yourself as the miracle. Because you are. Can you imagine if you really, really believed that you are divine, that you are the miracle, that God chose you to be here? How would you behave with your family and friends today? I think that we'd have a little bit more compassion, a little bit more love, a little bit more understanding of the human experience and the journey that we're all here for, to develop, to understand, to shift, to grow. And some are at different stages on the path. But as a divine being, we get to say, yeah, I see you. I see your divinity. And I'm a chosen one. Everything is for me. You are for me. think it's going to be an amazing Christmas for you. So I celebrate you, and we're going to have musicians come on up and do their thing and prepare us for meditation, and we'll go into a meditation.
I see I had a misunderstanding here, but I'm going to play one for you. As I play this, I want you to think about just all the scenes that go through your mind at Christmas time. And imagine that story of your life rewritten in this space.
This year for Christmas, what are you hoping to get?
A computer, big, giant, Barbie house.
A trophy case.
The Xbox 360. Minecraft videos.
What do you think your mom or dad want for Christmas?
My mom would probably want a ring. She's never really had a ring.
Jewelry. She loves jewelry. A new TV. Like watches.
So, you actually did buy an Xbox 360.
What in the world? What is this? Okay, you really got this for me?
You knew I found it.
Wow. It's a necklace.
So we also bought a necklace because you said you also wanted to get a necklace for your mom or your auntie, the catch. Is that you could either get a gift for yourself, or you can pick a gift for your mom and dad. And you need to pick one. Now, before you answer, oh, I bet that's hard. Is that a really hard question? What gift do you pick?
much is this?
I gotta go with the ring.
What gift do you pick?
That one. That dress. I'll choose this for my mom. I'll choose this one.
It's a really tough question.
I'll give him this.
You already know? Tell me why.
Because Legos don't matter. Your family matters. Not Legos, not toys, your family. So it's either family or Legos, and I choose family.
I get gifts every year from my family, and my mom don't get anything.
If I get a laptop, my mom will get something. She helps me when I'm sick. She helps me with my homework. She gave me a house to live in.
They look out for me and do stuff for me, so I need to give back to them.
Now I have the opportunity to give them something.
Because you actually picked the gift for your family, you're actually going to go home with both. Tell me how you're feeling.
I'm feeling really happy and thankful.
Just happy. Thankful.
For your family? For what?
My family.
He did make his decision, actually. And he picked the Birthright charm.
Oh, that's sweet. You made me cry. Oh, it's for me? Oh, it's for you.
Thanks, guys.
I can't tell you how many times I've seen that and I still tear up. That's a miracle, my friends. That's why I wanted to show you. That's the meaning of this holiday. The miracles are right in front of us if we choose to look at them. And so I invite you to be that miracle today. You can show up differently today.